Welcome back to Empowered. I'm Elizabeth Namofsky. Today's topic is empowering women through entrepreneurship. Now, Nicole, what is the ultimate impact you aim to create in the lives and businesses of the women that you work with?
Well, if you ask anybody who I've worked with, they'll tell you that, for me, it's very, very highly personal work that I do. I care about each one of the clients that I work with. And really what I'm trying to achieve is to help give women clarity and confidence. And what that really means is, what does it take for me to get from here to where I want to go? Like, what are the actual steps? So what we do is we kind of break things down. Who is your target audience? And, if you look at the different functional areas of your business, like sales, marketing, operations, finance, how does each one of those functional areas connect with the target customer? And, making sure that there's cohesiveness in terms of how you set up the business, how all the processes are running, how all the resources are being used within the business to create, again, a step-by-step roadmap of how you're going to get from here to where you want to go, 500,000 and beyond.
So, how does achieving significant business success contribute to a woman's overall sense of empowerment and agency?
That's such a great question. And I think there's really two things that it creates is one, financial independence. And, my mom told me from a very, very, very young age, given her experience in immigrating to Canada, but also being a single mom, that a woman has to be financially independent. So when I work with women to create sustainable businesses, that's a huge part of being financially independent, making sure that they can make their own money to support themselves and maybe, other family members and what have you, but making sure that they're in a position to make decisions that are best for them because they're coming from a secure financial place to do so is really, really important. And there's a freedom that stems from being able to be in that position. Part of it is time freedom, for example, having more time because you've hired more people in the business. So you don't have to be there managing every single activity or task, but you can kind of pull away because, you're empowered to do so. Or even location freedom. For some of the entrepreneurs that I work with, one in particular, she spends a month away in Europe every single summer. And she's able to do that because she is financially independent, because she has taken the time, invested the time in mapping out the processes, understanding the steps, and growing the business to that extent.
And that's really important, because as women, we've always want to be financially secure. We always want to have the freedom to do things that we would like to do outside of the workforce. And I think what you're doing is really important because it is giving women the ability to achieve their financial freedom. And as women, women look to scale and achieve significant growth. What are some of the key initial shifts in mindset and approach that you've observed as being crucial to this?
It's interesting because when I started my own journey, I didn't realize how important mindset is to being able to accomplish big, lofty goals and to something like entrepreneurship. But inherently, I've learned that, I've understood that, and now I work very closely with my clients, on that really important mindset shift because there is something that happens when you are growing to that extent and setting the business up for that kind of success. And for me, I recently saw a talk where I saw an entrepreneur that talked about the idea of betting on ourselves. And I think that is a mindset shift. Like we believe in other people, we believe in our loved ones, we root them on, cheerlead them. But for ourselves, we don't do that. So I think really the best way that I can kind of explain it is for us to bet on ourselves and to make the investments and from a monetary perspective, from a resource perspective, to make sure that we can grow the business, that we have the knowledge, that we have the mindset to do those things. Because at the end of the day, we're capable of doing so. We just need to bring a couple of things into the equation to help us get there.
And I love the fact that you talk about betting on ourselves because as women, we put our partners first, we put our children first, we put our jobs first. And when it comes to us, we're depleted. We don't have the energy for ourselves. We don't have that mindset for ourselves. And I think it's important that you said, you know what, we need to bet on ourselves. I'm betting on me. And in order for us to get to that next level, in a very sane way, in a very mental health proper type of way, I think we do need to step back and take some time for ourselves and bet on ourselves. And right now, it's time to go for a commercial break. So don't go away. We'll be right back.